Puntigam. Alozia for Houston. Alozia shoots. She scores! Houston!
What's up, H-Town and all around? You know the voice, you know the mug. This is the Dash Dispatch. I'm OSG. Back there waving his flag as always at the dynamic Foxtrot. What's up, Andres?
Man, happiness is an understatement right now. I'm extremely happy with what we're going to be talking about today, but man, I'm overjoyed.
Overjoyed because we have a lot of good news to talk about, but tonight we also have a guest with us, a special guest, Valentina with oh man, you know what, Valentina, introduce yourself and tell us who you are with, and thank you for coming on tonight with us.
No, thank you guys. My name is Valentina and I'm with RDD Sports.
Awesome. All right, so as you see, Andrea said we're happy. We are happy. We got a Dash dub to talk about, and in the final seconds, again, 3 games in a row. So, man, we do need to get into it first. We got some things to talk about before we get into the actual game. All right, man. So this week, nothing really happens, but we do find out the availability report. Ryan Gareis is still in concussion protocol, and Barbara Olivieri is still missing. She has an excused absent. So 2 things I want to talk about. Valentina, familiar with the team. Ryan Gareis has been in protocol for 3 weeks now. She did play when we were doing our friendlies during the break, but she has been for three weeks now, and I thought she was cleared. I thought she was good, but she's still in protocol. She's also on that free agent list. We like to speculate. We like to draw attention to things that may not exist or may exist. Ryan Gareis, is this just protocol, or is she on her way out the door looking for her next home, and we've already kind of replaced her, and, you know, this is kind of the way the business works?
I think, the last thing you said, I think it's a way of letting us know like she might be on her way out. So, and honestly, I like the starting 11 so far these last 3 weeks. So, I mean, if we're winning, then maybe we don't have anything that's missing out there so far.
But still some inklings, still some things to work on.
Yeah.
Our first half Dash. Andrea, to ask you the same question, I like to speculate, right? Do you take anything out of Ryan Gareis missing 3 weeks in a row for concussion protocol?
It could be both ways, that she's on her way out and actually going through concussion protocol, which by the way, I hope she recovers very soon. But I also feel like she's going to be on her way out only because of her missing a lot of time at this point and just being unavailable at an important stage of the season. So obviously there's definitely better opportunities out there for her because we do have a crowded field and we need to raise our level. But whatever happens to Ryan Gareis, I wish her the best of luck and I hope she definitely recovers.
I'll give a little more context. As you see behind over Andres' shoulder, you've got the game where we are watching the Dynamo right now as we're recording on Sunday night. So we've got a Dose dub this morning, or this afternoon. We have a Dash dub we're going to talk about. We're hoping to get one with Houston playing Vancouver, so we'll see. You'll maybe see our faces go up and down. You'll hear the excitement of the sport. That's for damn sure. But my little opinion is also I'm just drawing speculation on Ryan Gareis. She seems happy here. I think she's happy here. Her husband did move to Minnesota or something. Is she available to move to somewhere else? She is a free agent. She did not sign an extension. I don't know if an extension's been offered to her. So it is strictly speculation. I would like to see her stick with the team and be, to me, an off-the-bench role and a spot starter. I like what she brings. Something that Kiki does not bring is those crosses coming from the left side. You do not see those right now. Kiki's drawing a little bit something different and doing something different. So I do like Ryan Gareis' aspect. So, again, like I said, it's speculation. I don't know what to think of it. It has been 3 weeks in a row. We'll play it by ear. Fabrice was not asked that question building up to this game in the press conference about those. So, your girl, though, Barb, she has an excused absence and has not returned to the team yet. I'm going to speculate more on her. Why is she not returned, Andres? Why is she not returned? Alozi's returned, and Alozi, the champion, got to celebrate, went back to her country and celebrate with her people. and then came back to her team and was playing with her team. Why has not Barb returned? And then Valentina, I'll follow up with you.
It's interesting because I expected her at this point to return to the team, but it's already been a few weeks, and like you said, Alosia's already back after winning the women's AFCON. Right now I'm not worried because it could definitely be some time off with family, or just to take care of personal matters, but I'm not sure. Like it's still up in the air. I hope she comes back very soon because I don't want to lose her. That'll make me very sad. And yeah.
Valentina, any thoughts on Barb?
Oh, it's funny because Venezuela lost kind of early in the Copa America, right?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
they lost in group play.
yeah, I mean, you have Alosi like winning, and she came back on time, and then yeah, I don't know, something's happening.
Dynamo just gives up a penalty. VAR is yet to review, but it was clearly a penalty. So we're already Dynamo, and it was Dorsey who did it. Dorsey, God dang.
Oh,
But
okay.
all right, we'll see. So I'm with y'all too. I like Barb. I think Barb can bring something to this. Prior to this season, Valentina, even when we were talking on the show, Barb was my team MVP and was going to be my team MVP, and this was going to be a breakout season for her. It has been the
Yep.
absolute opposite, in my opinion. And she hasn't broken out of anything this season. She didn't even do well, in my opinion, in the shoot. Oh, whatever the cup was called down there in South
Copa
Copa
America.
America
America.
Femenina.
Copa America, yeah. Wow, the brain farts tonight. Jesus Christ. She didn't even play well, in my opinion, there as well either. So I don't know what's just going on with her. Maybe she needs a new site or whatever. I hope not. I do like her, just like Gareis. I think Gareis has a place here too. And by the way, healthy return for Ryan Gareis, who is still in concussion protocol, just to make sure that I'm not just throwing her under the bus and pushing her out. Right? Okay. But Vancouver scored. So we're 5 minutes and 50 seconds into the game, and we're already dynamoing. But as Andres said off the air, we're not going to be turned down by this. We have the
Yeah. I refuse. I'm not gonna look back right now.
Valentina, you mentioned earlier the lineup has been the third straight lineup in the third straight game since we returned from the summer break. What does that tell you Fabrice is staying with this lineup right now?
I think the coach figured it out in a way, right? Like you have to start moving some pieces and see what works and what doesn't work. And I mean, putting into account that he just got to the team not too long ago, so it's great. I mean, it took not that long, I guess, to figure it out. So hopefully we keep going. And I think the mentality has changed a little too, but that's something else.
Something we've been talking about and asking for, and we said it's time for, is you have to make your decisions. You have to pick your lineup, and you have to kind of stick with it and go with it, because you've tried everything else out in the first half of the season, and you see where you are in 12th place going into that break. So Andreas has even talked about it too. So Andreas, I asked you the same question, third game in a row with the same lineup.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's probably one of the best things we can learn about this team. And we've been talking about, like, over the course of the year, we've already been seeing Fabrice like trying to figure something out, and in most occasions it hasn't been working out for the team. And just coming out of summer break, it was probably the best period to find something that can work. And thankfully, it looks like something works for the Dash, which is what we've been waiting for this entire season. And it's a very critical time because we don't have as many games left, as many opportunities to recover in the standings. But at the end of the day, as long as something works and as long as we keep evolving over time, it's all that matters.
Right. Chemistry. Once you get to chemistry, these girls are talented. They know how to play the game, and they do play well. You see it there. You see it at moments. You have Avery Patterson. You have Yasmin Ryan. You have Sheehan and Colaprico in the middle. You have Natalie Jacobs grinding and Paige Nielsen, Jane Campbell in the net. So you have a core. You have a team. It's just they just haven't found it out. But as y'all say, they're looking better. They're doing better. They're playing well together. They're not breaking apart either. So let's get into the game now. As the Dash, first half Dash. We're used to this. It just seems like the same movie. So now we're not watching a movie no more. We're watching a Netflix series. So we're just another week further into the series, and this is just a new episode. But the Dash have the slowest start in the friggin' world, right? The slowest start I don't know what it is. There's 0 shots in this entire first half. I have an idea of what it could be just because of the way the styles are 2 different styles. But Valentina, what did you take, or anything, what did you take out of the first half tonight from were there any positives besides no major mistakes?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really like their like they're a little passive, like a lot of the time. And now when you're like one goal down, then you start, acting different. But well, at least we didn't. No, honestly, no, I don't. I can't think of anything. At least we didn't concede more than 1 goal. So
Right, and that's a good point. That Andrea, she says we're a little passive to start, and then it's when we concede we decide to be more aggressive and start playing a little bit different game. Is why is it? Why do we start with this particular style continuously every game, and what makes you believe that you should keep starting that way? I know you're feel like you're an underdog of a team. It's a brand new team. You're still trying to figure it out, but I mean, hey, you gotta make a little more aggressive changes, right, Fabrice? What do you think, Andre?
It's more so, well, like really the passive is something that I definitely agree that I've been seeing that it takes a little bit for them to recover in games. And just heading into this game, I was extremely concerned with their approach because Gotham was not gonna let you go that easily, and they've been creating chance upon chance upon chance. And the first goal was just, you could say it's a little bit unlucky, but at the same time, it's more so how Gotham is just able to smell a goal and just create opportunities from thin air. Just like obviously you have the least current goal leader, and it's just like kind of expect her to like cover her around, but obviously that being a transitional moment because the ball hit the post like pretty close to Jane Campbell, and it took her less than a second to react and put the ball in the back of the net. So it was definitely concerning, especially throughout the game. But overall, the way that it took us to adapt and grow and not let Gotham take advantage of the lead, it was good enough.
Valentina, this is something we talked about, was stop. Is there a way to stop Esther Gonzalez? Is something we talked about in the preview. You were
yeah, I'm
Dynamo.
calling. I'm
But-
calling Gotham. I'm calling them Esther FC now because, well, she has 11 goals versus 9 from the rest of the
Yeah.
players, so that's crazy. But
Yeah,
we found a way, I guess. So
Yeah, and talking to you during the game, you're like, of course she scores a goal, and she was just wide open, moving around in space, wide open.
yeah,
Granted, right, Andres, you mentioned it was a deflection off the post, and it just kind of open play right there. But for the rest of the part, Valentina, were you happy with the defense of Esther for this game, for the Dash, especially what we're used to with our defense sometimes?
well, I think so because you gotta be a little more aggressive. Sometimes they're like marking the players, but not really like just go for the ball, right? Don't let it like get closer and closer and closer, and then you have like an easy cross, like the goal, right? Like she was right there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Make sure you maintain the pressure, put the pressure on. Don't let them be free. Too many times, I know Andreas has got this grin on his face right now because he's probably picturing the goals that we've given up. Too many times the ball comes across the box, across the top of the box, and just laid off to a wide open midfielder running into the 18, and then boom, back of the net. What's Shane going to do? Nothing. And then we're just standing there. We're not ready. We're flat footed because we're too busy ball watching. So it's good that how we defended Esther tonight, how we actually defended the rest of Gotham. They had 15 shots total the entire game, as we're still talking in the first half, but 6 shots total on goal. 4 of those were saves, and of course 1 hit the post. But at least it was a good performance by the defense to slow her down, stop her, prevent her from being too dangerous. She did have another opportunity where she probably should have scored, but she is who she is, and she's dangerous when we know what she is and what she brings to the game. So, shout out to the defense. Good job, Natalie Jacobs and Paige Nielsen, for slowing her down and keeping her from doing any more damage against us and holding us into the game as we do go down 1-0, 8th minute into the game already. which is disappointing because we did have hope in this game. We know we're playing
Yep.
Gotham, so but we're on the road. So we, of course, you always go into the game believing. But I had a little more hope. But giving up that goal 8 minutes in was just like, oh, come on, man. It was a little slow start after that too. Dash couldn't pick it up and find it till maybe 32nd minute of the game. Started finding a little more rhythm, but still couldn't find a shot whatsoever. You know, you got Yaz playing the 9. Not like a striker though. She likes to play that middle of the field. So then I think that's kind of what our biggest problem with the first half. Valentina said we're passive. We're just trying to make passes, and we're making slower passes. We're playing Benny ball where we're just trying to work our way out of the back and possess. And we're not getting our strikers forward into open space, and you don't have those speedy overlapping wingers getting out there and drawing those defenders away. So I think that's a lot of a slow aspect of the game and the style in the first half. And that's what changes towards the second and a half. Andres, is it just because we put in a Messiah Bright or whoever it may be right now, it is Messiah Bright every week, and she's doing a hell of a job. Is it because we put in a Messiah Bright and move Yasmin Ryan out to the wing that it does create more space, adds more space, and then puts Yaz back into her element?
Putting in Messiah Bright definitely improved the game in the second half. It gave a lot of opportunities for Dash to go forward and just be as threatening as they possibly can. And it was something that they really, really needed after the first half because, like you said, the first half was just like extremely boring. We were not creating anything and we were just waiting for to take like those threats and put them back and defend as much as possible. And you even heard it in the commentary during the game, like Messiah Bright opened up the game a little bit. And I felt the same way. And it was a good substitution for sure, but it was still a little bit concerning because we were not creating enough opportunities. And on Gotham, I felt like they're probably gonna get another goal eventually.
Thank God they didn't. Valentina, do you think that it is more of putting in the striker that changes the style of the Dash's play, or we do just change the style of play? If we had a Messiah Bright in the first half, would you see a more aggressive Dash? Or is that just the style of play where we were playing slow on purpose and that's how we do it? And in the second half, we kind of changed things and we're now we're going to be more risque and play a little more different game. I think that's kind of Fabrice's style. What do you think?
I think it's more about having somebody that is closer to her, like creates more chances, but it's also like doesn't just expect her to be like like on top, just waiting for the ball. So maybe that's where we go to Miss Barb, you know.
That is a good one too. Because Barb, yeah. I see that grin on Andreas right there. That big winner smile right there. All right, so.
Yep.
Yeah, we do need Barb back, and Barb could be a big difference. That'll be a big help. So Barb, where you at, girl? Barb, if you're listening, hurry up. Or one of the girls, y'all listening, give her a call. Say, when's she coming back? Y'all comment or DM us. Let us know. We'll keep the source secret. But it also changes. The style obviously changes because the press is a lot higher now when you have a Messiah Bright in the game at 2. And I don't know why, because Yasmin Ryan has the same amount of speed, or just as much speed. But Messiah Bright comes in as a true striker. Now you play a higher press. And tonight it works out and puts Gotham under pressure. And I don't think she looked up to see where the keeper was. She just passed it back and just thank you for the goal. I'll appreciate it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you agree? Is it the striker adding the press, or did we just add the press again? So I'm trying to figure out, is the striker dictating our style, or are we making adjustments to the style? And that's for Brees and the girls making the adjustments. Valentina?
I think it is a little the forward or the striker that we have dictating the pressure, because you're not gonna have two players that are the same, right? So I think Messiah is like very fast. She's quick, right? She puts good pressure. And you have Ryan, and I think she's a little different. So yeah. And also when like Alosia goes in, she's closer to Messiah, so it's like a good combination. I think he has to maybe figure out, maybe give her like a few more minutes, I think, to Alosia. But yeah, we'll see.
Back to Andrea, same question. Could we do something different in the first half with the striker? Is the striker dictating our style?
More so because we kind of just saw it, even though it was Kiki that was just pressing and pressing and pressing and forcing that mistake. I still felt like adding Miss Albright and making just adjustments offensively definitely did a lot of good for Houston, because they just played like automatically different compared to the first half, but still with a lot of work to do.
And granted, I know that maybe that's just also an aspect of it. You can't play a full press game the entire game as well. You're going to tire out, and you're going to open up space in your midfield. So I'm not dumb, right? Okay, it's like we can't do that the entire frigging game. So I'd like to see it in more spurts in the first half instead of it being the entire second half and none in the first half. Let's add some spice there in the first half a little bit, please, and while we're cooking. And then here comes lightning and rain and cats and dogs and pouring and everything. 2.5 hour delay. Game starts at 3 o'clock Central, and I don't think it kicks back off till 6:50 Central. Oh my God, that wait was so annoying and so boring. But I guess we're used to it. We are so
well
not
now it is a Houston Dash game.
For real. But finally, we come back. Big question, Andres. Do you think that? Well, hindsight now, was the delay? We just got the goal. I don't see much momentum besides we just got the goal. Were you happy for the delay, or did you say? Sorry, excuse me. Or did you think the delay was going to slow down whatever momentum we just built?
I was both optimistic and worried because it could throw off momentum for either team, but after watching the game, the delay definitely threw off Gotham, and that's something that really Houston took to their advantage to just take something out of this game, or just at least keep the draw. And like literally after the break, it felt like Houston were somewhat in control, and Gotham was just like really unable to keep creating opportunities consistently like they did throughout the game.
Who did the break benefit, Valentina?
I think it benefited us, the Dash. At the end of the day, Gotham is playing at home, right? They got the pressure. They're higher on the standings. So yeah, I think they had a little more to lose, and yeah.
They definitely did, and like you said, in front of their home crowd, you do have an Esther Gonzalez up top, so you know you're dangerous. You know they're a dangerous team, and you're playing a team that hasn't done nothing against you all night. You're dominating the entire game. You have one bad mistake, which we're used to having mistakes, so you know you can come out of it because you are Gotham. You do have a coach that is impressed y'all over there. Won a title with y'all 2 years ago. Just a lot of change over there right now with them, but I guess that's what showed tonight. A lot of their change, a lot of roster change. We have 2 of their players on our team now this year, Yasmin Ryan and Delaney Sheehan. So, hey, I'm glad we went up there and we interrupted their party. But the substitutions were late today, late. One was at half, and then I think it was 84th it was Alozia came in finally with one sub. So we didn't utilize our. Yeah, Alozia.
Yeah, Alozia and our super sub.
Smith, that's right. Smith did come in.
Super Smith.
Super Schmidt. Yeah, that's right. We were hoping to see a Clarissa Laracy at this point too to try to come in and find another goal. He was on the bench. She is available, but I guess not. We're going to save her for maybe a home debut next weekend. But Alozia comes in. Chappie is taken out. I'm happy with that move, but obviously everybody else is going to be happy with that move right now too. But Alozia comes in as right back. Our Nigerian position, like we said, Fabrice kind of noticed. He paid attention to their international soccer, and now he's utilizing her where he can, and this is a good position for her. She's familiar with it. She knows how to do it, and obviously she gets up the field and gets down that wing as well, as y'all see in the 94th friggin' minute of this game. Pelosi gets up the friggin' wing. I don't even know who fed her the friggin' assist. It was beautiful. Ponce just missed a 2-yard shot. And Alozia just is a brilliant, just a shot upper corner, killer style. the Dash do it again, 3 games in a row. I don't even know what to say, but Valentina, your emotions and your feelings whenever that Alosia just took that ball and you were waiting and building up. Is this it?
I was already, to be honest, I was already smiling when the subs were gonna come in. I was like, oh, it's happening again.
Yeah,
So there we go. I think the vibes are high, the mentality's there. Yeah, it's
the
good.
commentators knew about it too. They were talking about it too. And the
Yeah,
Dash do it again.
yeah.
Where were you at? Where's Cloud9 for you, Andres?
Man, I was right after the break and right after seeing the dash just improve with that extended break and just the subs coming in. I was like, I feel like they have some opportunities coming in for them, and I feel like at the right one they're gonna capitalize. And Charles comes in, the champion mode activated, and just like puts the ball on the roof of the net, which is just like absolute insanity. I'm trying to remember like who was the person that started the pass, but that entire
Puddingham?
play, yeah,
Was
yeah,
it
yeah.
nice?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
Put again
I
with
think it
that
was
nice
yeah,
little
nice.
leader on. And I thought Alozie was going to play the ball across the front of the goal line too, and then it was just ended up being a rip. So I was excited for the build up, and then shocked when the shot came because I was really expecting something different. Did not expect a shot. Goal lost, so the Dash do it again, and another Dash player signs the camera after the game. It's exciting. So in our little script tonight, I put OMG Chappie. So let me go ahead and explain the OMG Chappie because, oh, man, I love her grit. I love her fight. I love her energy. I love her, what she does for the game, what she does for the team, the energy. But man, sometimes her technique and her she just seems so raw to me, and her mistakes are so awkward. Or not her mistakes, sorry. Her passes are so awkward and off target, and it's she just so dangerous to me. And what I mean by that, dangerous in defensively, I feel like she's just man dangerous. But she did a good job tonight, but I think she stood in way too long. So Valentina, that's what I meant by when I put OMG Chappie, because we don't hold back on this show if we've got somebody we want to scrutinize, not scrutinize. We want to talk about who we don't think is in form. We're gonna bring it up. Girls, y'all are listening. We're just keeping it real. So Chappie's great, super sub. Play the first half, whichever. She's been playing too long, but Alozie came in and saved the day. So that's my thing. And I know right now we're short on subs on the right side. Westfall is returning back from an injury. I don't know. You could use Katie Lynn centrally and put Paige Nielsen out wide. I don't know, but what do you think about Chappie? Just period. How do you think of her game?
Well, I kind of wanted to ask you guys. I think you've been following her maybe a little longer. Is it because of her injury, or she was like that before?
I feel like
No.
it's for more than anything.
Yeah, Andreas, right. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's for more than anything because obviously she's been missing a lot of time, and it's really difficult to get back into playing in game state, like full game state, where you just come in off an injury, and also before that maternity leave, and it's really tough. But yeah, more so like she said, I was more concerned with her performance tonight, and it might be a little more time for her. Obviously, like he also said, we need bodies on her side, and she was the one available, and I just hope she gets to improve.
Okay.
Lisa Boughton could be our savior. Not really our savior.
I hope so.
That could be where she be going in as well too. But I don't have a problem playing Alozie on the left or even Patterson on the left and put Alozie on one side. I don't have a problem with both of those being wingers that could push up because they both play defensively. You saw shout out to A.B. Patterson. You saw how well she played defense today, standing up. Esther Gonzalez
Yeah.
out there on the wing sometimes, and there was another one that she kept standing up. She plays her defense so friggin' well and does such a good job. It's hard to beat A.B. Patterson, and then she just uses her energy on offense too. So shout out Avery. All right, so as we talked, OMG Meach comes in at the last second and just saves the day and gives us the dub. I think we've talked about Meach. So after everything we've talked about, we've seen from this game, Valentina, do we need a striker to succeed? I know Ryan played the striker position today, but I don't think she played it as looking like a striker. Messiah comes in and plays striker, looks like a striker. So that's how I asked the question by context. Do the Dash need a true striker to succeed or have the ability to win games?
I think it's 50-50. We do, but as long as all the other pieces work too, you know? Because we have some teams like Louisville, they have a Belser now, and she's like really good. Well, she came back from like some time off, but then she's not scoring if the other players are not doing their part, you know? So it's kind of both, yeah.
No, I agree. Andreas, your opinion?
We do need really a piece that obviously if you need like a 9, I more so want a creator, but it's a little bit difficult to find a player that can be up front and also create. But I'm only saying that we need a creator because we are still struggling to create those opportunities on paper. In this was a miserable game for the Dash on paper, and obviously all that matters is the scoreline. But at the end of the day, if us as Dash fans have been watching this team the entire year, we haven't been creating a lot of opportunities, and it's been really tough for us to put the ball in the back of the net. We only had one shot on target this entire game, and we still won. So it's a little bit miraculous, but just looking back at this game and a ton of games this past season, it's really something that we have to get a hold of and figure it out because we're still struggling to create those goals.
Struggling to create in the first half. I'm with you, Valentina. It is kind of 50-50, but we just got to figure out the right way to put the styles together, the one with the striker and the one without the striker, to where we could play a full 90 minutes consistently together as a unit instead of having to play one way and then moving and changing to play another way. It would be nice. And again, if you're not putting the ads at the striker, you're moving her to another position. That means you're taking somebody out. And right now, you're kind of like, who do you want to take out? Obviously, it's going to be Evelina Dolgen that's going to be the one taken out since she's the first sub every game. So you drop Yasmin Ryan into her and you put a striker in. That's the change you make, you know. So I don't know. It could be part of the plan too, and it's working right now. 3 games back, 7 points, 2 wins and a draw, a win and a draw on the road, and a win at home. Which let me say that again, a win at home. But now you're coming back to home. So I'm with y'all. It would be nice to have an everyday striker up there that you know that is your striker. Messiah could be that striker. She is here for 2 more years with after this year too. So she could be that striker. Just need more time, like you said, Andres, to get it developed into the style of play. So I don't know. We'll play it off. We'll see. We'll get into it. So real quick while we're here, the Dash do win 2-1. Get the success. Get the dub. Get the 3 points. So let's move into the NWSL Roundup. Let's run through the schedule real quick, and let's see where we're sitting in the standings after this weekend. We were the final game of the weekend of the NWSL, so we got to play last, and we got to hold them off strong. Let's save the best for last. Washington Spirit Washington Spirit tied Racing Louisville 2-2, and Utah Royals were 0-0 against Angel FC. As I wait for the slow computer to change to the next day. What do we got again? Oh, man, I got to move down further. KC Current and Orlando Pride. I kind of stayed up to watch. Not stayed up. That game was a friggin' delay, too. I stayed on to watch that game. 0-0.
All the delays, man.
bonkers, bro. And I think that's what their score was. Well, I mean, they play each other twice, but I think that's what their score was last year. And then they go into that final, and it's 4-3. A friggin' nut. North Carolina Courage 1-1 against Portland. Bay loses to San Diego FC 2-1. So that's a 2-1. Bay still struggling over there. And then, of course, Sunday for us, you get that 2-1 win, which I think, we're starting to, the league is starting to take notice, I think, after this win for sure. We'll have to see what the experts are saying. But as I pull up the table, what this win did for us now, it just moved us into 10th place with the 18 points. Gotham is sitting at 20 with North Carolina both tied at 8 with 20 points. So we're 2 points behind. Big jump. We were 5. Moves us into 16 games. That's 10 games left in the season now, right? 10 games left in the season. So you're at a good point. You're 5-3-8. 7 goals against. So, yeah, what it is. But good win, right? So, Valentina, we're working our way up the ladder very slowly, but this has to be a great start coming off the break. 3 games into the second half of the season and moving your way up to the ladder. Do we have enough in us to keep this up?
Definitely. I mean, they have to stay focused, not give early goals like today, right? But yeah, definitely. I mean, as long as the mentality is there, it's possible. And also, there's one more game tomorrow. It's Seattle versus Chicago, I think.
I knew there was one missing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Felt like there was one missing. So, it's not done yet. Let's see. What is it? Yep, Seattle. So,
I think
good.
we have to worry about the Chicago too much. They're like at the bottom, so.
Yeah, don't worry about Chicago. I think we still get them here. But that's interesting. So now tomorrow, I've got nothing to do tomorrow. So now I've got a Seattle game to watch so we can see our opponent for next week and get that aspect because I will be in person at this game next Sunday. Andres, standings. We do this every week, man. We're moved up to 10th place. How you feeling?
I said it in the last few episodes, but we reached a critical point of the season where we cannot afford to drop more points than we already did. And just coming off the summer break, the Dash are hot, and they're doing the job, which is win games and get as many points as possible because they close the gap. We're only 2 points away from playoffs, and the pack is still fairly close. So if they get more points, they're definitely not just be able to get into a playoff spot, but also try to secure that later on because the teams are still very close. Like even to 5th place, we still have like roughly 8 points from there, and depending on how the season turns out, it's a lot of variables, obviously. But at the end of the day, the Dash are getting the job done. They need to get results. They need to get wins. I mean, especially home wins. Those are the ones that we actually need right now. So, other than that, we're looking pretty good.
Especially home wins. So segue. Yep. We have Seattle Reign, our next opponent, coming in on Sunday at 6 o'clock at home. They are 6th place, 24 points. Obviously, they get to play tomorrow, so they could get 3 more points and jump back up to where they were earlier in the standings. I think they were in 5th, and if they win, they'll be back in 5th. So we'll see. We're rooting for Chicago for an upset. Maybe our Aggie girl over there in Chicago can get a goal for us and stop Seattle and put Seattle on a losing streak and bring them over to Houston so we can, finish them off and work our way into that playoff spot. Seattle Reign. All right, Andres, what are you expecting for next week on Sunday as we are at home against the Seattle Reign?
It's still going to be a lot to prove because we're in a place where we haven't not been putting a lot of results, but obviously that's been during a period when the team has been trying to find their groove, find the right lineup. It looks like they found it, which is very optimistic heading to this game. So I'm very much looking forward to see how they have improved, especially at home. And more than anything, we need to find those avenues to open up the game in our favor and score as many goals as possible because I feel like Seattle is still a pretty decent team. Obviously, they're still a pretty in the middle of the pack when it comes to the playoffs, so they're gonna be threatening for sure. But I'm looking forward to this game.
They have a very solid midfield, and they've gotten 9 goals from their top forwards up top. Valentina, what are you looking out of this game right here, playing against Seattle at home?
Well, honestly, I think they're a good example of what we were just talking about. Like not just having a good striker, like it's Lynn, right? Williams, now Bayendolo, I think, if I'm saying it correctly. But yeah, just a strong midfield. So hopefully we don't give her any, easy chances, or we don't open too much in the back. But yeah, let's hope.
Hey, we have one of the best midfields in the league right now too. And so this is going to be one hell of a matchup. It may
Mm-hmm.
be ended in 0-0 draw, so get ready for it, Dash fans. There might not be fireworks on Sunday night, but show up and be there and root your team on, and we'll see 1 goal late in the game. That's a promise right now, the way things are going. But hey,
All
this will
right.
be a game and a big win if we can get it and another namesake again, because the Dash is somebody different right now since we were returning back from the summer break. Now I don't know why it's a summer break, but whatever. I guess it was a summer break, but
Yeah.
this will be something special. And man, I'm curious. I really want to listen to Soccer Wives this week whenever they do the NWSL episode and see if we finally going to make the headline or a headline and see what they really think about the Houston Dash. Or are we a fluke? We're getting our butts kicked. We're winning games at the end of games. So, like y'all said earlier, it's a score that matters. But man, we're looking bad at some points, and then we're looking good at the end of the point. So a win's a win, but man, if we could just fix a few little things, we could look very great. But now's the time to do it. 10 games left before the playoffs. Get into the playoffs, and then you never know. It'd be nice for playoffs. Valentina, I was at the only playoff game that we've ever been to and that we hosted. And I was sitting right behind the goal that we got scored on, and I hated every minute of it. And we enjoyed the player, but and a sellout too, which was nuts. You don't sell out a game for the Dash. So it was fun, every freaking moment of it. But all right, that is the NWSL Roundup. As Valentina reminded us, we have one more game. Y'all check it out. It is Seattle. If you're listening to this before the game happens on Monday night, watch it, check out our opponent, be ready for it. Dash will be ready for it, I guarantee you. We playing at home. All right, one last little thing. Transfer market we talked about while the window is still open every week. One little update in the transfer market is Rashida Abajade, that is formerly of Real Madrid, I believe it was. Now I've done forgotten. It's been so long since she's been with them. Looks like she's leaning towards PSG. So they are close to making the deal done. And my wish list is starting to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So unless Angela can pull something out real quick and draw her in, it looks like Rashida will be going to PSG. So all that leaves is Kat Macario, Hope, Valentina. We have been trying to manifest players that we want over here to Houston Dash, and Kat Macario is one of them. Chelsea doesn't need her. She's not going to play for Chelsea very much. Emma Hayes for the U.S. Women's National Team has said, I'm playing domestic players who are playing in the NWSL, besides the one who went to Chelsea, which is funny. But we said she belongs here. You have a Yasmin Ryan. You have an Avery Patterson. You're building more rapport. You have a Maggie Graham on the U23. So you have a U.S. women's core right here. She's a perfect fit. Emma Hayes, if you're listening, can you please contact Chelsea and Kat Macario and tell them to sell her to the Houston Dash? But
Please.
that's where we're at. You have the Clarissa Laracy and you have the Lisa Bowden. How do you feel about those two additions the Dash make? What do you think of Laracy? What would she be able to provide for the Dash? And then 2, what do you think of Lisa Bowden and what would she be able to provide for the Dash? Andres, I'm going to ask you the same thing.
Man, I've been in the Kat Macario train for so long. I don't know how to feel, and I also feel like we also made some pretty good signings. But if we're able to get a player to a similar caliber as Kat Macario, I feel like this win will be a success. So, we addressed some key areas for sure, but the one outstanding area that we've already mentioned is the fact that we need a creator or like player that has enough vision to provide us opportunities to get the ball in the back of the net.
Valentina Carissa Larrasty is going to be the number 9 for the Houston Dash now. What are your expectations or your impressions of her as you probably checked out a little bit tape to see who she even was before she even gets on the pitch?
I think it's great. I mean, as long as we, create enough chances for her, we'll do good. I think we need. See, I don't need Macario. I'll just ask for Lacey Santos. That will be enough for me.
Is she a free agent?
No, she got
No,
here like 6 months ago, so not six,
that's
10,
true. That's
almost a year
true.
ago.
All right. Well, Labonta is a free agent.
Oh, oh, she's
Yeah.
good. She's ready good.
Yeah, see, so there you go. They haven't re-signed Labonta in Kansas City yet, so that'd be really nice right there too. So, ooh, I see where you're going. I see where you're going. All right, interesting. All right. Man, we are getting here down to the end. 45 minutes into this episode. You got a dash up. You have a preview with Seattle coming up next week. Make sure y'all get to the game. By the way, it's a 3-game Houston weekend. Dose is playing on Friday, Dynamo on Saturday, and Dash is on Sunday, y'all. All 3 are home games. Dose at SaberCat, obviously, and then the other 2 will be at Shell. When Dynamo, Vancouver just hit the post and missed an unopened net. But when Dynamo play at home, they're playing at Shelly, and when the Dash play at home, they're playing at Shell Energy until somebody can bring Hell in the Shell back to get to
Please.
Houston.
Yep.
Please, sometime soon. Not playing like this behind me on the TV right here. That's not going to do it. But, oh, man. Valentina, thank you for coming on to the show today. Thank you for talking Dash with us. Is there anything that is on the top of your mind before we let you go and before we get to talk to you a little bit more about who you are, who you represent, and all that good stuff? Anything you want to talk about?
Let me think. Well, I'm from Colombia originally, so I think soccer is in my blood. So yeah, I didn't play it growing up. My family played. My grandpa played in the national team. But yeah, so yeah, I
Nice.
love it.
Good, good. I heard the little accent right there too as you were talking about it.
Yeah.
It definitely came out. The Colombian pride right there. I like it. Laura Gomez is Colombian as well. Very proud, very proud. So, yeah, some talk. Have some good time. Maybe I'll get y'all both on the show at the same time. How about that? That's a promise for the future.
There we
And
go.
I'll work on that.
Nice.
But Valentina, tell the people not who you are, how they can find you, who you're working for, and any shout outs you want to give before Andreas takes us through the socials.
Okay, so I'm with RDD Sports right now. In Instagram, you can find them as RDD Sports USA. And my Instagram is it's Vale Keith. So VALEQUIJ. That's how you find me.
If you're listening, check it out on Instagram. I'll tag her on Instagram when you see this. Other platforms, you'll just have to go see her on Instagram and find out where else she's at, I guess. But look forward to it. I hope she is able to come back and do more shows with us. I definitely enjoyed her perspective and her aspect of the game. And Vancouver just hit the friggin' post again. Hit the post
Oh, I
again,
do
but
want to I have a shout out
yeah, go for it. Let's hear it.
to Fabrice. Thank you for being open-minded because
Nice.
he knows what worked and he was
Yep.
able to, just adapt to what's working and make it work for the next game. So yeah.
Valentina, did we have a coach for more than 2 years in our hands?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem with the Houston Dash. We don't hold on to coaches, right, Andres?
Yeah.
Historic. I know.
That is the story of the Houston Dash. So hopefully that's changing with the new ownership and new management and all that good stuff. And we can just get out of this friggin' hellhole and just finally be somebody. All right, Dynamo are down 1-0 at the half. Only 1-0 at the half. Thank God it's not so bad. But Andres, run us through our socials real quick. Where can people find us on the Dash side of things?
Of course. But obviously, first of all, Valentina, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll definitely have your uh, social media links down in the description for this episode if you guys want to check her out. But yeah, for our socials, as always, we do have a couple handles on X. One is going to be Dynamic Foxtrot, the other one, Nuevo Tiempo. We also have handles on Instagram and Blue Sky. It's still going to be at Dynamic Foxtrot there. Whatever you're watching this episode, Foxtrot TV on YouTube is going to be your best way to go. Of course, youtube.com/@dynamicfoxtrot. You can check us out there. We're posting all the post-game press conferences, everything under the sun when it comes to Dash, Dynamo, those. And make sure you are subscribed, liking our episodes, all of our videos, and also putting comments. It helps a lot with the algorithm, and we do appreciate that a lot. And also Ghost TV, good platform to check out other sub-country creators like us, and that's spelled with a Z, so it's going to be ghost.tv/@dynamicfoxtrot for our profile. And of course, one of the things she's working on is also the written version of Dash Dispatch as part of the Fox in the Box weekly newsletter, so check out our Substack. And we do have the link provided as well on our YouTube channel and also on our social media, so just go to the link posted, and it's going to show you all the links that we have for you guys. So, and of course, whenever you listen to the podcast, it's going to be on the Noodle Time, but all the episodes for Dash Dispatch are going to be right there. So look up Noodle Time. It's going to be there for you.
Just hit that like and subscribe, and you'll get everything. So that's the best advice right there. He could tell you, right? Hey, and one other little shout out. I do have a friend within the Surge. I'll get more information and post more information out there, but he's going to do a raffle for tickets for the Kansas City game, the last game of the season. The Houston Dash hosting the Kansas City Current. There are going to be 4 tickets on the front row behind Jane Campbell. Well, half the time it'll be behind Jane Campbell. Half the time. It's not directly behind the goal. It's off to the left a little bit, so you're not like looking at the net. But it is front row. It is 4 tickets. He's just going to do a $10 raffle to get you entered. We're going to promote it and just let y'all know how to get to it and give y'all an opportunity. And we'll see if I can find some merch and maybe add something to it to make it even cooler. I'd love to come interview the winner during the game and say, hey, how do you like these seats? How do you like the game and all that good stuff? So stay tuned to that on the socials, and thank you for the person that is going to be putting those tickets out there for a family to go see the Houston Dash on the final game of the season at home against the friggin' Kansas City Current. I hope it's decision day and we're beating them to get into the playoffs, or we're already in the playoffs and it's secured or whatever. But that's going to be a huge one. So y'all make sure y'all get out there. Valentina, H is up to you. Thank you for coming in tonight and spending some time with us tonight. Andres, Dynamic Foxtrot, you know the deal. Thank you for coming in as always. We are,
of course,
Foxtrot TV in the Foxtrot studios, and this is the Dash Dispatch. We just went beyond. Where H is up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Lesson learned in the NWSL. You cannot let the Houston Dash hang around.